What is up YouTube? My name is Alex, I'm a personal trainer and nutrition coach, and today I'm going to talk about how to properly do a PCT. So after your cycle, or if you want to come off of your TRT, something that you may be doing by yourself and you are not having a proper advice. Some people probably will get a bit confused with what I'm about to say, but this that I'm going to explain was told by professionals. I'm not getting this out of thin air, so there's some logic behind it, and I'll give in the end about 3 advices that can help you to correlate with that logic, how to properly run a PCT or get to the PCT. Okay, so what this means to do a proper PCT. So when you finish your cycle, your TRT, whatever the reasons, or if you run a higher TRT or low doses and you want to come off sometime, you want to clear it out for health purpose or whatever the reason is, you have to be aware. This is the one. It's not breaking science, but be aware of the ester you're using, because as an example, if you use cypionate, which is 7 to 10 days of half-life, depends a bit of what you got prescribed or what you're using, because every lab will, it's slightly different, whatever, like even annotate, probe or whatever. Anyway, so if you, for example, if you use cypionate in your cycle, you need to count since your last shot 48 days after, so you can start then your PCT. So you start your actual PCT 48 days later, which means it's 6 times the half-life of the ester that you run. It's an example I'm giving it because it's a mid-term ester that you need to acknowledge that it's a long time, but you think like, well wait, it's like if next week I don't have a shot, I'll feel like crap. Yeah, that's true. So that's why there's some solutions to keep it up so you don't feel as shit. That's why a lot of people start doing the PCT too earlier. Okay, that is why it's advice as well. Things that you can do is like, you probably run this longer ester. For example, if you use Sostenon 250 or something other blend that is similar, you have these 15 days half-life esters that in there. So I mean, that's even longer that you need to be out of anything. So straightforward to the suggestions that you can deal with, because I mean, this is all you need to understand from the length of time is you can run a shorter ester. So for example, prop, and then from the prop it's about 15 days, so like 2 weeks later you can start running the PCT. You can get your doctor HCG to try to stimulate and feel alright, and take some medication to feel alright, the Clomid or Proviron, whatever the doctor can get to you and he thinks it's the better to run until you actually start a proper PCT. But like, you will think like, oh, actually HCG is already part of the PCT. Yeah, but it's not actually being that effective as it should be, because you still have to go through this process of the 6 times of time of length of your half-life of the ester that you use. You know what I mean? So, and even more if you use, for example, things like EQ, DECA, that things that stay longer in your body. So you have to be aware of that as well, because while they're still running, even if you finished that shot 4 weeks ago, it's still in your body, so it's still shutting you down. So just forget about the rest, because you need clearance. So because of that, you can start running annotate for a while and then switch for prop, for example, and then 2 weeks later you start your HCG, and then other Clomids, Proviron, whatever you want to start with. Other thing you have as an option, and depends where you are in the world, some countries you can get it without prescription, is androgel, which is technically like testosterone in gel form. So you just have to apply it yourself. You apply it in the morning, and by the night it's already out of your system. So you can use that as a stimulation for your testosterone, so you feel good during this process. It's probably one of the best options, because you don't have to be injecting anything, and it works if it's a proper androgel. And like I said, in some countries you can just get it in the pharmacy. Yeah, it's like technically you can just run, like for example, a test prop until you reach those 6 weeks or close to those 6 weeks, and then like for example to run for the 4 weeks, and then you know you have more 2 weeks to fit that barrier, and the week after. So in a 6 weeks is the example of the cypionate, but like I give before, because it's 48 days, so it gives around 6 weeks of the length time in between. So it's like, for example, in the 6th week you can start running HEG for like 3 weeks, and then like in this the 7th week you're already like starting properly the PCT, so you're already starting the stimulation of your HEG for your testicles, and the Clomid or the things that the doctor will advise to you, or you think it's best for you and you feel better. As well, if you are using the Android gel on yourself and you feel you're sexually not feeling alright, you can use smaller doses of Cialis as well. I mean, to help you to not just like being at always at 6, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It is just like a short introduction of actually of the time length you should be doing the stuff properly. I'm not going deep in things you should do for PCT, but the time length that you should actually give a break actually before you start doing the PCT, and you have to understand of that, because that's why a lot of people stop running their PCT after 4 weeks, and that can be wrong because not everyone recovers as fast, and then it depends what you did before. You may actually haven't done shit to your body and you actually didn't get any recovery from that, and that PCT was just like waste of your money that you let it out and didn't make anything to you, just make you feel better through those days, but you actually needed longer, like even 8 weeks sometimes. Even if you do one cycle, let's say you run for 8 weeks, you will take at least 4 months to fully recover from that one cycle, to recover properly. If you were okay before, okay, if you are really looking to get natural again, or take a phase that you want to get natural and stop using anything, clear your body, imagine you go for off season like off here, you need to be aware of this, because not everyone in that side is paying a doctor, is having monthly checks or advice for professionals. So these are things where you have a proper idea, because you find many things on the internet, but I never saw actually until specialists, endocrinologists and pharmacists talk about it. They are not English, so you wouldn't understand anyway, but it's just like I thought I should share this because there's nothing in English explicitly explaining this, and I never saw it myself until they actually talk. And there are two professionals talking and work in the area, and they work with bodybuilders, so they are from this bodybuilding world, so they are really aware of everything. They understand much more about the sport than probably the average person that is starting right now. And a lot of times we mess up with our bodies and we don't know why. Well, that can be a reason why your PCT didn't work for you, and probably you start having another issues later and you don't really understand it. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy it. If you like the information I shared to you, just comment below something, share it, show it to your friends, do the thing that you feel it's the best. I hope you enjoy it, and I see you in the next one.